Hey there, Sky Soldier here. In this video, I'm going to be going over 5 Elden Ring beginner tips, and this is the Rune Farming edition. Spoiler warning, this video contains spoilers in the form of weapons, armor, abilities, items, and areas from early to mid and late game. With that out of the way, these tips are here to help beginners with rune farming basics and get them more familiar with rune farming in the lands between. There are no rune farming tutorials in the game, so hopefully this can shine some light on simple rune farming strategies to get you started by giving you some handy information that will allow you to farm runes easier. That way your character will be really powerful in no time and can be prepared for the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion coming out June 21st of this year. I want to preface this section by saying that some players think that rune farming or using glitches or exploits to gain runes fast is cheating and that you shouldn't do it. It is cheating to some. However, I think that anyone who is playing the game has the right to decide how they enjoy it. That is including rune farming strategies, using exploits in the game, or even purchasing runes from third-party sellers. No one has the right to tell you how to have fun. Period.
Damn, that's crazy.
The tip I want to talk about first is Gatefront. This rune farming strategy is for beginners that have just started playing Elden Ring. This rune farming strategy requires fighting enemies. The speed is slow. The safety is rated as mostly safe. One of the easiest places to farm runes at the beginning of the game is a place that you can reach shortly after starting the game. The area is called Gatefront Ruins. The Gatefront Ruins are found in Limgrave, just north of the Church of Ella. It's filled with relatively easy enemies to kill except for one which can be bypassed or killed with a little more strategy and caution. After completing the prologue section in the Cave of Knowledge, you need to head north, grab the Site of Grace, go past Varre, and past the Tree Sentinel. You will come upon the Church of Ella and a merchant. Be sure to pick up the crafting kit from the merchant Kale, and then grab the Site of Grace. Head north past the few soldiers and crest the hill where you will see a stake of Marika, and down below will be Gatefront Ruins. I'm going to show you the route I take around the outside to get the best bang for your buck. While I'm doing that, I want to note that there are a few items to pick up here, including the first of which is the map of the western part of Limgrave, which is located by the Guide Stone. The brass shield that I have mentioned in previous videos, which you can farm from soldiers that you see wielding it. And the third thing you can pick up is the whetstone knife, which will allow you to equip and change Ashes of War on your weapons. It's located in the chest you see on the screen in the southern section of the ruins. You will also get the Ash of War Storm Stomp, which is in the chest with the whetstone knife and can be equipped. You can also pick up 2 weapons in the form of the Lord Sworn's Greatsword and the Flail. There are also other options you can find from farming the enemies here in the form of weapons and armor. The main objective here is to kill as many of these enemies as quickly as possible and then reset them by resting at the Site of Grace. You can do this as much as you want to get a head start on a few of your attributes. I will mention that I always recommend improving your vigor stat to 20 or 25 at least for survivability before even thinking about improving a damage stat like strength or dexterity. The second rune farming strategy is the Ball. This rune farming strategy is for newer players and can be done by beginners. This strategy doesn't require fighting enemies. The speed is moderate. The safety is rated at moderately safe. Another decent rune farming area is over in the Caelid Wilds. To get there, you need Torrent, and you need to start at the Agheel Lake North Site of Grace. You need to head south over the bridge, and then north and northeast to the Mistwood Outskirts Site of Grace. You can open up your map and see the guide stone on the map. You can go pick up the map if you want, but be aware that there are 3 huge rune bears, and they will destroy you if they are provoked. You can just skirt around them, grab the map, and head back towards the east and come upon the Third Church of Marika. Activate the Site of Grace, grab the Wondrous Physic, the Sacred Tear, and the Crimson Crystal Tear, and head through the hole in the wall on the northwest side of the church before heading behind it. Head towards the bushes and you will start to see white wisps of magic coming from a waygate cleverly hidden in the bushes. Activate it. You will be transported to a faraway place in the Caelid Wilds known as the Bestial Sanctum. Head inside and grab the Site of Grace. Mount up and head south. Be careful to avoid the giant black kindred creature and keep heading straight south. Grab the golden seed as you travel and avoid the militiamen also. Grab the Farum Great Bridge Site of Grace and then head north and around the ledge to the east. Travel across here avoiding the enemies. Drop down onto the root system and head south and across the bridge to Lena's Rise and grab the Site of Grace. Now is when the ball comes into play. The ball is actually called a silver sphere, and it's an enemy in Elden Ring. 2 spawn just west of Lena's Rise, with 1 near it and 1 a little further down the road west. The object here is to continue down the road west on Torrent, and when you see the flash behind you, immediately turn your right and head up along the cliffside, and the silver sphere will roll to attack you, but roll off the side of the cliff, dying, and granting you 1,952 runes per sphere. You then continue up the Site of Grace and rest to reset the enemies and rinse and repeat. 2 things to note are A, there is a bunny creature that can get in your way, making the sphere hit you or even knock you off the cliff, so be aware of that. And B, there is a small chance that the silver sphere will be in a heightened state when spawned, where it gives you around 8,000 runes instead of its normal 1,952. This heightened state is usually signified by enemies having glowing eyes, but since the spheres don't have eyes, it's hard to tell. The ball is one of my favorites because it's easy. The third rune farming strategy I want to talk about is the dragon. This rune farm strategy is for newer to intermediate players. This strategy requires only killing 1 enemy that doesn't fight back. The speed is moderate to very fast depending on whether or not you use the exploit. The safety is rated at moderately safe, except for a few exceptions being the dragon enemies, but they are easy to avoid. The dragon rune farming strategy is a well-known one. First, you will need a weapon that causes blood loss. The easiest one to get that any class can use without stat investment is the Morning Star. Start at the Agheel South Site of Grace and head south, or start at Agheel North if you don't have the south waypoint and head east and then south to cross the Bridge of Sacrifice. Be aware that there is a ballista that will knock you off of Torrent if you don't dodge. Just dodge by going slightly to one side or the other when they fire. After you make it across the bridge, keep heading south and you will see a broken down wagon. The Morning Star is in a chest in the wagon on the side closest to the road. You can grab it while still on Torrent. Continue down the road until you see a Site of Grace and a merchant. Get the Site of Grace. Next, you will use the strategy I mentioned above to get to Lena's Rise Site of Grace. Then head behind Lena's Rise on Torrent. Go over to the Spirit Spring and face the cliff. Jump up the cliff and gather the golden runes near the coffins. Then head southwest down the hill. Go towards your right and hug the cliffside while being cautious not to fall off. Once you are near the Minor Erd Tree, you want to avoid the putrid avatar who will attack you if you get too close. If he does attack, just try and keep going around to the right side of the tree. Jump up the ledges and head around the cliffs. Double back and use Torrent to get up the tree roots. Head southwest along the right side of the mound of scarlet rot fungus that looks like coral. Try to ride quickly by the sleeping dragons. Head around the large dragon's tail and head directly south towards Fort Feroth and activate the Site of Grace. The target you will be killing is the large dragon named Grail. If you go to the correct spot, not only will nothing attack you, but you will be able to kill the dragon. Equip the Morning Star. If you happen to be a Scholar class, or a class with less than 12 strength, you will still need to use the Morning Star with 2 hands. Mount Torrent and ride towards the dragon. Head towards the clump of scarlet fungi under a section of the lighter feathers on the large dragon. Dismount and attack with the Morning Star to proc bleed, and repeat this until there is a sliver of health left. This is where you make a decision. Either you can kill the dragon and receive around 50,000 runes once, or you can use an exploit to be able to farm this dragon over and over and basically giving you infinite runes if you want. If you choose not to use the exploit, then you kill Grail and receive your runes. If you want to use the exploit, then mount Torrent while it has a sliver of health left, turn the camera so that you are looking back towards the site of grace, but align Torrent next to Grail so that you can still hit her. Watch the next part all at once before you kill Grail so you know what to do. If you don't do the next part right, Grail will die forever, thus locking you out of this exploit and rune farming strategy. Carefully hit her over and over until you see her start the death animation. She will rise up slowly and you will no longer be able to hit her. Immediately turn towards the site of grace for Fort Feroth and press the sprint button and ride as fast as you can. Hold in the left thumbstick to launch yourself off Torrent and quickly rest at the site of grace. If you do this correctly, then you will be 50,000 runes richer and Grail will still be alive. If you do it wrong, then she will have disappeared and you will have the runes and you will also get 5 dragon hearts. There are a few things that can help this rune farm also. One thing is the incantation Blood Flame Blade, which can be acquired in Liurnia of the Lakes. This will make the process much faster, though you have to be more careful as the blood loss buildup continues after you finish attacking, so her death may catch you off guard. The other thing I recommend is getting the Green Spill Crystal Tear, which boosts your stamina for about 3 minutes. The Green Spill Crystal Tear can be found in the Mistwood in Eastern Limgrave, near where we just found the map fragment for that area. Next, the fourth rune farming strategy I want to talk about is the Albedar and the Bird. This rune farming strategy is for intermediate to veteran players. This strategy requires killing several enemies that fight back or attacking a different enemy and luring it to its death. The speed is moderate to very fast depending on whether or not you use AoE on the Albedar or you use the Bird. The safety is rated at moderately dangerous depending on if you do the Bird or you do the Albedar and what weapon, sorcery, or Ash of War you use. The Albedar and the Bird that I am talking about are both located at Mogh's Palace. The closest site of grace is Palace Approach Ledge Road. You need to either get to Consecrated Snowfields or do Varre's Questline to get to Mogh's Palace. I'll leave a link in the description with a walkthrough on how to get to Mogh's Palace using the earliest method. Next, either choose the Bird or the Albedar. If you choose the Albedar on the slope, then use the weapon or sorcery with the largest AoE radius to attack them all at once or in big groups. The Sacred Relic Sword is outstanding for this, but you do get it from the Elden Remembrance you get at the end of the game. Note that Radahn's Sword Ash of War is also a great way to kill them quickly. You can get around 70,000 runes per run on your first playthrough, or 150,000 if you use a Golden Pickled Foulfoot. If you choose the Bird, face the cliff's edge, equip a bow, switch to first-person mode, and shoot him to aggro him and lure him off the cliff. You can get around 11,000 runes per run on your first playthrough, or 26,896 runes if you use the Golden Pickled Foulfoot. This is by far the most efficient and quickest way to farm runes in Elden Ring, other than purchasing them from a third-party website or getting someone to drop you golden runes. And that leads me to the last strategy for farming runes, which is more of an honorable mention. The fifth and final rune farming strategy I want to mention is golden runes and coffins. This rune farming strategy is for beginners to veteran players. This strategy doesn't require killing enemies. The speed is slow to very fast depending on which golden runes you get from which coffins. The safety is rated at safe to moderately dangerous depending on where you're searching for golden runes. Golden runes can be found in several places across the lands between, but the most prominent way to find them is searching for burial sites with coffins or sarcophagi in them. Every place that has these will have golden runes, so keep your eyes open as you explore. Some have a decent amount, and the best part is you can collect them as you ride by on Torrent. That's it for today's video. I hope these tips will help you to farm as many runes as you want to get your characters ready for the expansion coming in June. I know, I for one am so excited for it. I am trying to get a regular release schedule going for my videos, and I'd love to hear some suggestions of what you guys would like to see next. If you liked what you heard today, then please leave a like, and if you want to see more of this content, then please subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. See ya.